Alright, back at it again with Kosi. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. Arsenal News in the morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Let's talk about some of the Arsenal updates right about now. Couple of them, though not what you would like. I know you want me to announce something big, but that is not to come yet. However, Arsenal has secured 120 million from a government loan. We shall talk about that in detail. Is it going to be spent in this January transfer window? We did announce our first signing of January. A pending transfer that had to be done in the summer now has been done in January. We'll be talking about that and more. Please do subscribe and smash the like button. Smash the likes to the moon and subscribe. Your subscription should actually be aiming for the stars and the sky. Why not? Let us just get the party started. I do appreciate people for the love. Smash the like button and all the things you've done. Get involved in the comment. And my question today is, how satisfied are you with how we have started our transfer business? 7 days. It looks like a couple of players have left the club already. Sid Kolasinac, William Saliba. Socrates could be on his way out as well as Messi Ozil. Those deals are very, very close, and probably Balogun, if he doesn't leave now, he might leave in the summer. So how satisfied are you with the first 7 days? Don't look at it in a way that bringing in players is the only positive thing. Think about it in a way that even putting out, driving out the dead wood is also positive. It's also a positive. So how satisfied are you with our January transfer window so far? I'm rating it at 5 out of 10. I think if Mikel Arteta said that we needed to drive out the dead wood and we are doing it as soon as possible, then probably I would give them a 5 out of 10. If I would only rate it at an 8 or a 7 if we brought in a creative player, and I think that will happen very, very soon. So guys, let's get the party started. I'll start with Omar Rekik, who has been finally announced as an Arsenal player. He is a striker. He has been playing in the German Bundesliga with Hertha Berlin. He has been confirmed as one of those Arsenal players that have signed in 2021 in the January transfer window. When we were talking about players that could join Arsenal, was very interesting. We never talked about it, but we knew even in December. I did this story in December, and I told you as soon as January comes, we're gonna sign Omar Rekik. But I don't know how it skipped my mind, and we never talked about him. We never talked about him, but he did sign for Arsenal, the first signing of this winter transfer window. Not the best, of stories. I know many Arsenal fans are gonna tell, because he is an under 23 squad player, so he's not going to be benefiting us to the top level. But at least you have seen that players like Bukayo Saka, players like Emile Smith Rowe, and players like Gabriel Martinelli are the fact that Arsenal is improving day in, day out. So it is, no blind Arsenal fan who is going to tell me that we do not need to recruit the young talent as long as they are good enough to play for this football club. So welcome home, Omar Rekik, a deal that is, many people many resources are speaking of different amounts: 600,000, 900,000, 800,000, but that's the region. And I hope he gets a big future at Arsenal. I don't know what is really, he's really capable of. We have to see. We have to wait and see. But my question is, if you're signing Omar Rekik from Hertha Berlin, for that amount, why is it that we cannot sit down and negotiate a decent deal with Balogun? Which takes me to story number 2, because Mikel Arteta was in his press conference and he said that actually Balogun is willing to stay, the manager wants him to stay, and the club also want him to stay, but the other party, which is the agent, is not actually complying, is not ready to make his agent or his client stay at the club. And that's the problem. And I think when you think about it, it's a problem that Arsenal have. We have been having this kind of problem. In the first case, why do you wait for a player like Balogun if you feel like he has a big future and a lot of potential? Why do you wait for him, for his contract to run down, to this extent where he's looking at offers from other clubs and offers from the, from the parent club? Balogun should have been tied down to a contract 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, and it should have been a problem. But right now we are flexing. We have to, if he's going to sign a contract, then you have to promise him a lot, which you might not actually be able to fulfill. So probably you're gonna tell him you're gonna get playing time in the Premier League or in the Europa League, and right now with Alexander Lacazette on and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, on with the likes of Gabriel Martinelli and the likes of Bukayo Saka, it might not be so easy to get Balogun playing time. But however, I think Arsenal should do whatever it takes. I was surprised yesterday. 15 clubs are interested in Balogun, and that only shows you how good he is. That only shows his potential. If 15 clubs are interested, then you have to know you have a lot of quality in that man. You've got to react well as Arsenal. I hope we will. I hope we will do react well and keep him at the Emirates Stadium. However, I've been looking at some of the stories this morning, and okay, let me first congratulate Bukayo Saka for becoming player of the month in December. I'm going to do that story. I'm sorry I didn't do yesterday. I was a little bit not so well. My health was just negative, but I think I'm recovering now. Look, Saka has been one of these players that have carried Arsenal throughout 2020, and I told you, if I'm going to choose the best 5 players in 2020, it's going to be Bukayo Saka on top, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Bernd Leno, Gabriel Magalhaes. I would include Gabriel Magalhaes in there. I wouldn't put Thomas Partey. I wouldn't, so please don't make a mistake. But I would put Gabriel Magalhaes. I think he changed our season, especially defensive-wise. And I think the other player I would include there, players in 2020, you can choose that, the 50th one. So Saka has been named December man of the month, and I think he really deserves it. He had a couple of assists in that one, in that month, setting up Alexander Lacazette, setting up a couple of players. He has already started those moves that we have resulted into Arsenal scoring. He's been very solid defensive wise. He's played in a couple of places on that pitch. In 2020, he played as a left fullback, and he did so well. He played as a left winger, and he did so well. And these days, okay, as the year was ending, he was playing as a right winger, and he's doing so well. So I think, no doubt, no player has compared to him in December. He's been an absolute beast, unrealistically, ridiculously good. So congratulations to Bukayo Saka. And many people have come out and say that he's one of the most expensive teenagers right now, valued at 116 million. That is really good money. I think we should cash in on him right now so that we can get the money. I'm just kidding. So, but that is it for you. He has actually won. He did win that grand title, Player of the Month, in December at Arsenal. And that takes me to, when I talk about money, that takes me to another story, which is Arsenal taking 120 million loan deal from the government. It's going to be a short-term deal that will be paid that will last until May. Yeah, it's going to last until May, and I'm going to really discuss that in a separate video. How Arsenal is going to use this money. What does it mean? Because I still believe Arsenal need a creative player. Arsenal needs to add in players, but it might happen in the summer when we actually get rid of our real problems. Because even if Ozil is leaving the club, there are rumors that we're still going to pay his price, his salaries. Then of course you don't expect to get a lot of money out of him. That is the problem. Now you also expect that players like Sid Kolasinac could actually come back. So if we can't settle in the summer, get rid of the players and let many players actually leave, on a permanent deal, like Mustafi, Socrates, Mesut Ozil, and other players whose contracts are running down, like David Louis, who are ultimately getting big wages. If we can let something like 5-6 players leave, and then we can bring in 3 players, that is, I think that's quite reasonable. I think we could have a different kind of summer, but we shall discuss that 120 million. But just know Arsenal did go in and get that that amount, 120 million. I will be discussing more of that. So make sure you have smashed the like button, you have subscribed. Thomas Partey is back in full training. And of course, the man himself, Gabriel Magalhaes, is back in full training. I'll be dropping the preview for that game, so make sure you do not make a mistake. I'll be dropping that preview, and I'll talk about whether Gabriel Magalhaes should start or Pablo Mari needs to retain his position in the club. We'll be discussing all those things. Make no mistake, I love you all, and I'll be coming back very, very shortly with so many stories. I'll speak to you very, very soon.